Confirmation bias is a term used in psychology, and before we get into exactly what that is, let's just get a little bit of a background here about why we want to talk about it. Now, when we're trading, it's important to trust our analysis, to listen to the market, and to stay in the now. Okay, we do not want to develop a bias that we can't change or that is hard to change. Okay, so it's important to stay very flexible. Now, this is even more difficult when you're talking about the Forex market, because if you have an open trade and your hard-earned money is on the line, it's pretty easy to develop a bias in the direction that's going to give you that winning trade. Okay? This is where our teachings on probability come in, and also the fact that we don't care if a trade wins or loses. Okay, we do not care about each individual trade. Number one, because we're tightly managing our risk. Okay, if we're performing proper risk management, we won't care. We already understand we're going to have losses. We understand this is a numbers game. And we'll get a little bit more into that in our section on trading principles. Okay, but the reason it's important not to develop a bias, because your analysis at that point really is useless. Okay, and let's go ahead and define confirmation bias. Confirmation bias refers to a type of selective thinking whereby one tends to notice and to look for what confirms one's beliefs, and to ignore, not look for, or undervalue the relevance of what contradicts one's beliefs. Okay, so basically, if you're looking at a chart, let's say you have an open trade and you're long the euro, your mind almost automatically is going to look for everything to confirm that trade. Okay, to confirm that positive outcome. And your mind's going to tend to ignore or undervalue any signs that go against that current trade. Okay, this takes some time. Okay, this is one of those things that takes some time to develop into as a trader. With experience, the results, focusing on the process, you will gain the confidence in the overall methodology that will allow you not to care about individual trades. Okay, so underneath confirmation bias, we also have a biased search for evidence, where we only look for technical or fundamental data that confirms your pre-existing idea. Biased interpretation of evidence, giving more credibility to technical or fundamental data that supports your pre-existing idea and less credibility to data that does not. Okay, so when you're looking at your charts, you're searching for things that are going to confirm your pre-existing belief, and when you're interpreting those charts, you're going to give more credibility to things that confirm your pre-existing belief. And as we just talked about, this tends to be a natural process that happens automatically, so we need to consciously train ourselves to not have a bias. Folks, this is something we need to work at. It's not going to come naturally. And it comes from having complete confidence in the overall process.